brother. You have to unmute yourself, David. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. What up, Chloe? Oh, voila. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, looks like we're live on location. Welcome to NFC Now. I'm Julian Virgin. David Oblas, he'll be here in a quick second, but welcome to NFC Now. Hope everybody's doing well. So off week for the NFC, not even an off week. There's never an off week for the NFC. That's why we're bringing you NFC Now every Monday. But we're preparing for the fight of the decade on October 15th. If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets at nfcfighting.com. But I'm Julian Virgin, your master of ceremony, MC, hostess with the mostest. You know me, man. Always have a great time just being with the people every day. We have an incredible show planned for you all. Got a lot of really dope guests, including our girl, Chloe Greeley. We got her opponent coming up as well. Lewis Brewington. We got CJ Hamilton. We got Kelley Jersild. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. And Jared Gooden in preparation for this upcoming October 15th card. Again, if you haven't got your tickets, make sure you go on nfcfighting.com. Also, make sure you drop some comments in the comment section so we know exactly, what you want to hear on this pod as we continue to move forward. I'm coming to you in my home studio. Shout out to Jenny Childress, founder and CEO of Flatline Cinema, for setting up this entire thing. But, we have an incredible show planned for you all. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in thus far. My man David just got ghost, but he'll be back on in no time. Just a couple quick things. We're still going back from our Monday Night Brewery show that was on September 23rd. It was an incredible card. Last week's show, we talked to a lot of the fighters that were a part of that show, including my man TJ Holt, the champion, the 145-pound champion after his victory over Justin McCullum. He had a lot of really dope things to say. If you haven't already, make sure you check out that video. That's on YouTube right now. We had on a former opponent of TJ's, my man, all the way from Detroit, Travell Miller. Travell called out TJ following his KO of the night, ultimately. And Travell he wants that fight back, and I think that's a really good fight. And we'll be interested to see if Jesse makes that fight coming up soon. I don't know if they agreed on whether they wanted to fight kickboxing or MMA. That first fight was contested via kickboxing. Travell wants some more. He actually put out a really dope video on Facebook earlier this week about possibly fighting him and how he wants some of that get back. So we'll see that. Last week, we also talked to Trace Harper following his submission victory over, it seemed like the amateur boogeyman in Ryan Kimbrough. Trace had a lot of really dope things to say. Look forward to him fighting for the 155-pound title here soon. I know Jesse made the 155-pound title fight for November 4th. That's going to be at Tannery Row Ale House. So we'll be looking forward to just kind of see some new developments on that end. And last week, we also had Jesse Wable, NFC's head matchmaker, on the show, and he reviewed NFC Fight Night 149. But on this week's NFC Now edition, we got my man David. David, you good? You good to go?
Yeah, can you see me now? Can you see me and hear me?
I got you.
That's
Your
technology.
audio's a little different. Is everything cool? What happened, man?
That's technology and being 46 years old.
There we go. You're back at it, man. What's up?
Yeah. Had to refresh the old laptop. That's what happens when you get in your 40s. Things go haywire.
Yeah, it was crazy because I'm like, all right, I'm waiting on you. I can't hear you. What's going on? And I just had to start the show. So I just did a quick recap of what we discussed on last week's show. And I told everybody that we're no longer in the same space. I'm in my studio. You're in yours. How do you like this setup, man?
It's better. We both needed our safe space, so I think it's more comfortable now. It's like
Even
our
though
safe haven.
we weren't in. I wasn't in your house. We weren't fighting each other. Everything was cool, man. The dog liked me too, man.
You wouldn't even eat any of the food I made you.
I mean, it just happened. Damn, you put me out there. It's all love. So I opened up by saying this is a off week for the NFC, but there's really no off weeks. Could you just fill us in with what kind of tasks and responsibilities that you're working on in between fights in order to prepare for the next show, which is the Battle of the Decade on October 15th?
Yeah, so I mean, even though it's not an off week, we always have one or two shows coming down the pipeline. So, right now working on next week's show, October 15th, Fight of the Decade, Doug, Usher, and Jared. Meeting with the venue this morning about that, mailing out posters and flyers, hitting up fighters about tickets, working with Michael Kelley on the advertising that we're doing on Facebook and Instagram, stuff like that, putting out flyers for tonight's podcast, sending out emails to all the fighters about the blood and eye tests. I see Chloe waiting to get in right now. I think her blood and eye tests are already good from the last fight. So just hammering out all those people and working on the staff as well. A lot of one of the huge things is our cage staff, the setup, the breakdown of the venue. Next week's our first ever 5 to 9 p.m. show, so we got to be out right at 9 p.m., have enough people to get out of the venue within 30 minutes over there. So just lining up the staff to help make sure that it goes as smooth as possible, really.
Over the last 20 – I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a little bit November 4th. Tomorrow I'm traveling to Alabama to check out a venue there we're doing in January. So even though it's not fight week every single week, there's still tons of other stuff to do out there.
Over the last 20 years, man, how have you been able to, form a team to, be able to just move with you on these off weeks? Maybe they're not even getting paid for that week, just in preparation for the next show.
Yeah, that is one of the problems that sucks about this business. I don't have that many people full-time or even part-time. So it's just communicating with everyone between shows and getting them ready to go to the next show. And like you said, all my people don't get paid except for fight days. So, I mean, if anything ever bad happens and we cancel a show, a lot of people won't get paid outside of the fighters. All the people on staff won't get paid. So that's kind of what sucks. You got to make sure every show, once you announce it, 110% absolutely does happen. So, yeah. So we've already got, it's funny, we've already got questions coming in for Chloe on here. Is Chloe going to get her title rematch after she wins this? So, I mean, if you're ready, I see Chloe waiting. Might as well bring her in and see what she's got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in introducing our first guest of today's show, the one, the only, Chloe Greeley, ahead of her big fight against Kelley Jersild. I hope we're saying that right, just with all respect to her opponent. Chloe, how you living? What's up?
I'm doing good, guys. How we doing?
No complaints. Happy Monday, per usual.
Is Travell in the room with you?
Yeah, of course.
Rumor has it he might end up fighting next week as well. That's a slight rumor out there.
It's a slight rumor. We'll see what happens.
Have you guys ever fought on the same show?
No.
Really? Good or bad if you guys do?
I don't know. I think two people cutting weight might be a disaster, but I handle it better, so I'll be good.
Is it at all taboo to ask a woman what she weighs before the fight or how much weight that she cuts?
Oh, absolutely not.
Now, well, I won't even necessarily ask you how much you weigh, but what is the weight cutting process for you ahead of a fight?
Well, for this fight, I'm not really cutting anything because we bumped up to 123 since we had a problem with Kelley making 115 when we were supposed to fight back in September. So, or I guess August, not September. But so for this one, I mean, I'm not cutting any weight, so I'm good. But yeah, the weight cut plates is definitely harder for women to cut. It's the juggling the water weight and everything's a little bit, but it's the same thing. It's not, it sucks, but it's part of the sport.
You just mentioned that y'all were supposed to fight in September, or was it August?
It was August.
It was August. When you have an opponent pull out, especially I'm hearing it was the day of weigh-ins. Mm-hmm. How does that affect you and your mentality and just going into a fight? You're preparing for war ultimately, and then the day of it just kind of goes to push.
I mean, hours on through the whole weight cut process, everything on the way, ready to go. Literally, like, on the phone with my mom, and then I get the message. I'm like, oh, I think I was just like, I'm like, this is a joke, right? No, but so at this point, you know, it's basically been 2 camps to get ready for one fight. So it's getting ready for war, because at that point, you know, it's not personal, but it's personal.
You train out of Team Octopus. You said like you're 2 camps back to back. What does camp life look like to you, Chloe?
So, you know, I go all in when I'm there, you know, it's and at least 2 a days, getting cardio, getting strength work into. I start every morning. I'm up at 4 a.m. I get my strength work in before I start working with clients at 5:36. We roll from there. Training midday, training in the evenings, you know, all over the place. No one's going to work me. I can control.
I love that energy. Now, you train all day, you train all night, 2 a days, X, Y, Z. Is this the full-time hustle?
You know what? Yeah, of course we want to go pro and do all that eventually, but realistically, nah. Like, my personal training career is great. I love what I do, and that's really what I want to do with it. You know?
So you're a personal trainer?
Yep.
So when you're a gym rat. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. I'm all day. I talk a lot about how, you know, the show is still hair. I'm always in the gym.
I love that. You know, you're training out of Team Octopus. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, you and Jose had a relationship. He helped you train for specifically that fight. I know he helped you train against Mariah Samsel. Jose is having a fight of his own at this point in time. Could you just talk about y'all's relationship and what Jose means to you?
Oh, Jose is one of the best. I love Jose. Great coach. I mean, I started training a little bit when I started Octopus, especially right there. It's been around on class, like all of his stuff and everything. Really, you know, really. And it's Simon just sending all the good vibes and love his way for sure.
David?
I was going to ask, Saba actually wants to come to the fight next weekend, and she wants to sit cage side and challenge the winner of you and Kelley. What's your thoughts of rematching Saba? Is that a fight you want?
That is absolutely what I want, because let's be real. I don't really know what the judges watched during that fight, but they weren't watching what was going on in the cage because, you know, I don't like to ever talk bad about anyone and all, you know, but we all know what really should have happened with that fight. So I absolutely want that rematch. I want to run it. You know, we've made adjustments on things to make sure that we don't leave it in the hands of the judges next time, and that's exactly what it's going to be.
And how does it affect you when Kelley, the good thing is Kelley agreed to fight you right after this and you agreed to fight her, but how does it affect you, not only you, but your ticket sales when someone cancels like that the day of weigh-ins?
Oh, it absolutely affected. I mean, there's definitely a lot that we were planning on coming before that now we're like, oh, like the amount of times clients and stuff are coming out like, well, let's see if you actually get to fight this time. You know, I understand, you know, she had her reasons. She absolutely had valid reasons on it. So nothing against her on it, but it's still, you know, it sucks. Absolutely. It throws things off.
Yeah, I mean, I can vouch for that on my angle. I look at ticket sales every day, and I'm going to be honest, you haven't really sold many tickets this time compared to what I know you have sold the last 3 or 4 years. And I know from my side, it's just because your opponent pulled out the day of weigh-ins last time, and it kind of sucks for everyone involved. It usually affects a fighter for the next fight until they actually do fight. Their fans won't buy tickets until they see, you know, once they see the photo of you at weigh-ins with the opponent, then they start buying tickets right then usually, and not till then.
Right. It's absolutely holding off this time. It's like, huh.
Yeah. And me and Jesse were talking today about having you on tonight and all the people that you've fought out. That you've probably fought tougher people than almost anyone in the history of the NFC. If you would kind of run through the names that you've fought, because everyone you fought is kind of a who's who of females in the NFC now.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I've been doing this for what, 6, 7 years now with y'all. Forget that it's been that long. But I mean, probably the biggest standout all this one was when I fought Ty Emery. I mean, that was a hell of a fight that night. You know, we've ended up in a draw. It was definitely. Who else have I fought? Mariah.
Kirsten Pack.
Oh yeah, Kirsten Pack belt.
Obviously Saba.
Back in the beginning. was one of my first NFC fights, I think, back a while ago, like 6 years ago now. Yeah.
So you said you've been doing this with the NFC for 6 years. What does
Yep.
a local promotion like the NFC, mean to a fighter's career?
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. So I started fighting back in New York when I was in like high school and everything, and we didn't even have there was no athletic commission with it then. It was all just like basically exhibition fights, whatever, and coming down here, just the way everything's organized and actually put together. When guys complain about anything, I'm like, y'all don't even know. Let me tell you. Like, fight stuff in like open like warehouses and stuff. I was actually, I didn't fight on, but watched fight on an all-female show called Toxic Toxin. That gives you any idea of how some of these things work. Whenever anyone complains about something, I'm like, y'all kind of good. Like, y'all don't do that.
What is your biggest complaint about us? And you can be 100% honest. If you had to pick one thing, and you can be honest.
I don't think I really have any. I mean, like,
Really?
everything rolls pretty smoothly. Most of the time we start on time. That's cool. Communication's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, honestly, and this is a really stupid complaint, but you always buy the weird pregnancy test because women, if you don't know, women take pregnancy before we fight. And I bitch about this absolutely every time. It's the thing. You don't just give us a stick. You give us a weird little droppy thing, and it's really. But that's
you can blame the dollar store for that one, not me. So, you can start bringing your own pregnancy tests.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it's all good. But
Chloe,
really,
what part of New York are you from?
Y'all are great.
Chloe, what part of New York are you from?
Around Buffalo.
Okay, so northern New York.
Buffalo, upstate. Yep.
What got you into mixed martial arts?
Oh, I hate that question because I don't have a great answer. Honestly, I'd been doing karate, and I was just doing the karate stuff at the gym, and all the older guys that were like my big brothers and whatever all started doing this stuff, and I was like, wait, but I want to do that too. I want to go hang out with them. I want to do it with them, and so I started taking classes, and then I was 17 when my coach was like, hey, well, do you want to fight in a couple weeks? And we did it. And honestly, it was back when nothing was really regulated or anything down there. There was no athletic commission with it at all. It was just whatever. I think we fought on an Indian reservation, honestly. I don't remember one of those. But I fought a girl that was 26, 27. I was 17. She broke my nose. We went all 3 rounds, but I'm laying on the ground afterwards. My nose is busted. There's blood everywhere. And I was like, all right, so when are we doing this again? And bless my poor mother's heart. That was the fight she watched. Watched another one until my last one with Mariah. So.
And your mom or dad come to almost every single fight, right?
No, they don't.
They don't.
Occasionally, but my mom does everything. Finally looked at me no, I'm sorry, but
it takes one hell of an individual to get into a cage half naked in front of fans, family, and strangers to fight somebody else. How do you think you're wired to even do something like this?
I don't know. There's absolutely nothing like it. I've been on. I grew up, I was on stage pretty much my whole life between dance and cheer and all that stuff and everything. So just moving into it with a sport that I actually like a whole lot more is great.
That's fascinating. So if I didn't know who the hell Chloe Greeley was or had any knowledge of martial arts, why should I come watch you fight on the 15th?
Because no matter what, I'm always going to win or lose. I always go in there. We throw hands, knees, elbows, all of it, and then it's going to be hell to watch.
And if you do win, as the question that was posed before you got on the pod, do you think you deserve to fight for that title again?
Absolutely.
David?
I got a question. So you fought Ty Emery. Was that the one at the Pink Pony?
No, that was when I won the first 125 belt, 3 or 4 years ago. I fought Ty center stage.
Okay.
Maybe Electric Cowboy. I can't even remember.
Was it Angel Blackwell you fought at Pink Pony?
No, I fought her at that one.
Okay. Okay. Did you see Ty Emery's celebration at Bare Knuckle?
I did. That's great, and not surprised. That's Ty.
What's your celebration going to be if you win?
Not that. know, I don't got to all, but
And kind of describe your average day. You did say you wake up at 4 a.m. You're in the gym at 5 a.m. Like whenever I get in bed late at night. I go to bed about 2 a.m. Wake up about 7:30 or 8. Every morning when I wake up, I've seen you already finished a workout at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning.
Yep.
Kind of describe your average day, what it's like.
So typical day, I'm 4, maybe 4, 4:50. Studio that I there, get my stuff in, train clients, and then going around like fish, octopus, that kind of like big training in, and then usually back to clients or covering other stuff. And then in the evening, I teach some kickboxing and conditioning classes at Octopus as well, and then also get my own training stuff. So it's pretty much I leave my house at like 4 in the morning and I get home at like 9 o'clock at night.
Have you done any research over your opponent, Kelley?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about her fighting style? Like, what does she do well? What do you think you can exploit? And what are you expecting when y'all get into the cage together?
I don't want to say a whole lot of that, but realistically, we have very different styles. Both of us are absolutely, we don't stop. We just keep moving forward with it. So honestly, it's going to be a hell of a for sure. It'll be a good fight.
I'm excited to have it. I see you have that that table, the thing that David made for y'all right behind you. We asked Travell last week what that mean to him, and now we have to ask you what that mean to you for like the NFC to like put your face on something that everybody else can see, and just even for you to be on the pod right now, so like the NFC community can get to hear what you have to say, Chloe.
Absolutely. Cool. I mean, I picked, out of it, which is, but actually, tell when I'm, wait, that's not my back before. And I was like, wait, Trey, look. So that was kind of cool. I think it's great, isn't it? I mean, that fight was like for sure. Definitely got me itching MMA world.
Hey, well, Chloe, we look forward to having you back on the pod, maybe following your victory, depending on how things go on October 15th.
That's the plan.
We appreciate your time. Final thoughts? You want to leave us with anything? Anything else on your heart?
That's really about it. Just definitely, it's going to be a hell of a show, and who doesn't want to watch pretty blonde girls punch each other in the face for a while? So,
These are facts. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's Kelley, Greeley. We look forward to watching you compete on the 15th.
That's all right.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Dave Oblas.
Yes, sir.
Can we working through it? I don't know exactly what the issue was there, but we're still working through it, making sure everybody's here.
Was her difficult? Was her audio difficult for you to hear also, or just me?
I didn't know if that was me. I didn't want to ask, but I think it may have just been that, but it's all good. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NFC Now. I'm Julian Virgin. That's NFC's promoter, CEO, founder, David Oblas right there.
And podcast webmaster right now.
And podcast webmaster making this thing work.
So Kelley just hit me up. Kelley just hit me up. Her Mac is not working, so she's going to try to call in on her iPhone in just a minute. So when we see Kelley pop in, we will bring her over. Brett Walters just texted me that I sound high. I don't know what that means. My microphone sounds high, or I'm the Nate Diaz high right now.
I don't know exactly. You sound perfectly fine to me. I want to know your thoughts about now that we talked to Chloe, we obviously just hit a little bit on her audio, but just from what she said, I mean, and also just y'all's relationship the last couple of years. What do you think about Chloe, and why do you think?
I think Chloe's awesome. I mean, she's fought 12 fights. I'd have to think out of those 12 fights, 9 or 10 of us have been for us. She stays busier than most of the fighters. I don't think she's ever said no to her fight. Like she said, people do like watching two pretty blonde girls fight. She always dyes her hair pink at every fight night or a different color, so it's fun to see. We always see her, and I didn't want to mention on there, but at weigh-ins, she always has me or someone else take a photo of her butt at weigh-ins, and she posts online. I think just to show how good she looks as she cuts weight out there.
Now, again, NFC, y'all not only put on martial arts fights, jiu-jitsu fights. We have in wrestling being showcased at the next card coming up. But how important is it for you as the promoter to showcase women?
It's hugely important. I mean, people love women's fights. I know Dana White years ago said he'd never have women in the UFC, but I've always liked women's fights. I think I had a female fight on my first ever card, June 26, 2002. Sherry the Bitch Thompson. She was on my first ever card. And my mom used to always ask how the bitch was doing. That was her nickname. And since then, we've always tried to have females whenever we can. Venues always ask me about females. Every venue always says, is there going to be a female fight? Is there going to be a female fight? And it's tough because you need two to tango. You need two females, both amateur, pro, same weight, same experience. So sometimes it can be tough out there, but we do try to get them on every single show that we can.
And now that's my follow-up question, man. How big is the pool of female talent here in Atlanta? Like people that are actually competing in martial arts?
It's big for jiu-jitsu, but not as big for girls that want to punch each other in the face. So when we do have females that want to do, we got to treat them right, treat them with respect, put them in even matchups all the time, and make sure they keep coming back. So.
As this, our next guest on the NFC Now pod, Kelley, and I hope I'm saying her name right as we feed her in.
I just threw her in here.
Slid. Is it Jersild? Jersild?
It's Jersild.
Jersild. Okay, what's the origin?
It's Danish. It's from my dad's side.
Boom. So I was doing a little Google work before you came on, and I did see like one Danish reference. I just didn't know if that was the case.
That is the case. You were good research.
Happy Monday, Kelley. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for coming on the pod.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling this Monday evening?
Pretty good. No complaints here.
You have a big fight coming up in a couple of weeks. What does that preparation look like, and does that change like your mindset? Like, does your mind start going into a different place when you know you're about to hop into the cage with somebody else?
Weeks out, not as much. Obviously, me and Chloe have been preparing to fight each other for like 12, 13 weeks now. So I've definitely prepared. I'm just really excited to finally be able to get in the cage and show what I can do.
I love that energy. What happened that last fight? Y'all were scheduled to fight in August. Could you just explain from your point of view, why didn't that fight take place?
That fight didn't take place because I was not well enough to fight. Unfortunately, like 2 days before weigh-ins, I started feeling not so great. I think that Thursday I was cutting weight and everything was going fine, but I had like a fever and like chills. And so I finally went to the doctor Friday morning because I was like devastated. And they were like, yeah, you have a kidney infection. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I probably can't get in a cage and fight anybody like this. So it was really unfortunate. I felt so bad because I never thought I'd be one of those people that had to pull from a fight. But what can you do, right?
Look, I can't speak anything negative on that because I'm not the one that's getting in the cage. I'm not the one that's having to cut weight. And I think it's important for those out there who don't fight and don't compete to understand, actually, like truly understand what fighters have to go to even the fight before the fight to even make it to the cage. Could you just explain a little bit more about what type of preparation it takes from you to even get to the actual day of the fight?
As far as preparation, like year round, I try to stay in pretty good shape. I train continuously 5 days a week. But then when you get into like actual fight camp, it's a little bit more. You're doing 2-a-days. You're more on your diet. I have to stop eating so many tacos, which is sad. But you do more strength and conditioning, more running, more sparring. You just get really focused and dialed in. And it's actually kind of fun, like the process of having something to motivate you like a fight. There's nothing else like it.
Indeed. David?
So this is your 8th fight. You've only fought for us at the NFC once, right?
Correct.
Where I know you fought for IKF tournaments, but can you tell other people like where else you fought and what you've done?
Yeah, so it's mostly been IKF tournaments. I've fought in Orlando 2 or 3 times. The Myrtle Beach one 3 times, and then NFC this last year, which is fun. NFC was the first time I'd ever gotten in a cage to fight, so that was interesting.
What kind of difference did you see from being a Muay Thai fighter where you guys can do cage or ring? You got a preference?
I think I prefer a ring. They're a little bit smaller, and you can like get someone in a corner and kind of tee off on them, which is fun. But yeah, it was a new experience, so it was cool though.
You fought Saba, haven't you?
Yes.
So were you able to hear us talking to Chloe at all earlier?
No, I wasn't. I was.
Okay, so we asked Chloe the same question. Saba wants to sit cage side, and she wants to, whoever wins the fight, she wants to challenge the winner and defend the title.
Yeah,
What do you think?
Let's
What's
go.
that? Damn, neither one of you guys wasting any time saying yes. That's good.
Kelley,
And I think you said you're on break somewhere right now or something. Where do you work at?
I'm an events manager at a hotel downtown, so I actually have an event going on right now. But I was able
Oh.
to step away and say hello.
I've always looked for ballrooms large enough to do a fight night at different hotels, and I've just never found the one. And a lot of hotels don't want blood on the floor. And once I mention the word fight night in a cage, usually they don't return phone calls after that.
Oh, we could probably try to find one of our venues. If the
Okay.
carpet's dark enough, it'll be fine.
Without mentioning the name of the hotel, I might hit you up later on that.
Kelley, do your colleagues know that you compete?
They do. My last fight for NFC I had quite a few of my coworkers come out, and it's fun. They put like my poster all around the hotel. It's pretty cool.
So I'm just curious about like why. I think that's the biggest question that I always have for all mixed martial artists is why. What drives you to wanting to get in the cage half naked in front of friends, family, and strangers to compete against another person who's ultimately looking to make an example out of you?
Well, I don't feel like I'm half naked, but I don't know. I just from the first time I went to like a Muay Thai class like 10 years ago and started training, I was just like I knew this was my thing, and I just loved it. And I love the whole process of training, of getting to fight, of pushing yourself. There's no other thing I've found in life that can really test you like a fight can. You really find out a lot about yourself. So I think that's really cool. And I love.
Were you in fights before this? I mean, were you ever in street fights as a kid growing up or anything, or does this the first time?
I was never in like a street fight. I remember there was a few times when I was little. I definitely remember there was one time, it was on my birthday. I think it was like third grade, and my mom had like put my hair in like braided like French braids and like pigtails, and it was really cute. And this girl named Brittany, she pulled my hair and messed up my hair, and I punched her in the face. So that was the first time I really punched somebody.
In third grade, huh?
Yeah. Now here I am. So
Yeah, here you are. I see you train at ATT Atlanta.
I do.
There's a lot of different gyms in Atlanta. Why? What made ATT home?
I guess I started training there like 7 years ago. My first trainer, Harris Norwood, he was at X3 where I found Muay Thai, and then he moved over to ATT Atlanta, and he was like, "Come on," and I was like, "Okay," and I've been there ever since. I love it.
From my experiences, just sitting cage side at some of the NFC events, and just there's an attitude that ATT Atlanta has. Can you relate to what I'm saying? There's an attitude, and like I'm just gonna say it. Like y'all talk a lot of shit, but like y'all back it up, and I like that energy. I like that energy. Is that could you speak to that energy, or am I off about my interpretation of what I'm getting?
Oh no, a lot of my teammates definitely like to talk a lot of shit, and it's all fun and games. We talk shit to each other, and it's great. I'm a little different like that, but I definitely have a lot of confidence in my skills. So as much as I won't probably speak it out loud, I definitely feel it in here.
But you take on that attitude of the gym, because the gym seems like it has an attitude, and that's no disrespect to the gym. I have a tremendous amount of respect for ATT, but like I just see there's a specific attitude that comes from like that energy, and I'm assuming being that you spend a lot of time there, that might rub off on you.
Yeah, it probably does. I would say that's true.
I saw you also spent some time in Thailand. Could you explain that?
Yeah, actually for my 30th birthday, I spent 6 weeks in Thailand. I kind of did it on a whim, like 3 weeks before. I was like, I'm just gonna see how much tickets are, and then I bought one, and it was like the best time of my life. I can't wait to go back.
Why? Why was it? What made it so unique?
Well, you just get to train for like 5 hours a day and eat all the time. And there's beaches and elephants. And I don't know. It was great. And I went by myself so I could just do whatever I wanted. And it was really fun. It was fun. I trained at Tiger Muay Thai. So there was a lot of really cool like UFC fighters and like female fighters that I looked up to. And it was kind of fun, like rubbing shoulders with them.
Now, you're fighting Chloe Greeley coming up on October 15th. Have you seen any of our other fights, and what do you think about your opponent?
I've seen a couple of her fights, yeah. I definitely respect her as an athlete. I know she trains really, really hard. I kind of feel like there was always this thing, it was like, yeah, we're kind of the same weight class and striker, so eventually we're probably going to have to fight. So it's fun that's going to actually happen now. I'm excited.
Is there anything that she does that you're having to be aware of, or like that you're expecting, or like how is this kind of helping you in preparation for October 15th?
I kind of expect her. I know she does a lot of like strength training, and so I think she's gonna assume she's probably stronger than me. So she's probably gonna come out and try to like clinch me and bully me around a little bit, but not worried about it.
You ain't scared, huh?
I'm not. I mean, ATT Atlanta, I'm the smallest one there, and I spar with those guys all the time. She's not going to be as strong as they are.
I love that energy. David?
So,
I asked Chloe the same thing. From a promoter's angle, whenever a fight's canceled, it hurts their ticket sales next time out. Have you seen that from your fan base? Like now they're waiting until weigh-ins, till they see a photo of you and Chloe standing next to each other to buy tickets?
not really. I think they all kind of know that was like a fluke from me. So I don't think so. I think I'll still have quite a few people come out.
And it's funny seeing the comments coming. Chloe's boyfriend, Travell Miller, just posted, "Oh, it's coming." So,
Yeah. Is
it fun at least fighting a girl that's in town rather than someone from, that we might bring in from Texas that nobody knows, and more fun from a fighter's perspective to fight someone here in town?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of, you give a little bit of hype, where like their gym is. There are people that have like trained with her, and there's people that have trained with me. So
yeah. Any final thoughts you have going into the fight, the next week that you have to do to get ready?
I'm just, sticking to the plan, training really hard. I'm just really excited to go out there and get to perform and punch someone in the face.
And if you had to do you know Doug Usher or Jared Gooden at all? Do you know either one of the main event guys?
I've seen Doug Usher around our gym. I know he also trains with one of my coaches sometimes, so that's exciting.
Who are you taking in the fight, Doug Usher or Jared Gooden?
Doug Usher.
And do you have a favorite fighter in the National Fighting Championship? Do you have somebody that you like? All right, I like that person. I'm rooting for him or her.
Just like out of all the fighters you've ever had?
Out of all the fighters, like I'm sure I'm assuming you've been to a couple of shows.
Or promoters. Fighters or promoters.
Well, if we have to say like a fighter, I'd have to go with one of my teammates, Akeem the Dream. He is one of my favorite people. He's been helping me a lot train for this fight. He's a southpaw, same as Chloe. So we've been spending a lot of time together, and I love that guy. So he's probably my favorite.
Kelley, could you say your last name one more time so we don't mess it up? Yeah,
Jersild.
Jersild. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kelley Jersild. We appreciate your time today. I know you're in between an event this evening. Thank you so much. We look forward to watching you compete. Best of luck to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Dave Oblas. I
You know how to pronounce it now.
Yeah, Jersild. I gotta say, man, like just after these two interviews that we've done today on today's show. Again, this is NFC Now. This is our third show. I gotta say just how important it is to have a platform for like our fighters to come on and like talk.
I think that's the cool thing. A lot of these people have never done any kind of interview in the past. So I mean, looking at Jared Gooden waiting to come on right now, he's a guy that's been to the big show. He's fought in UFC numerous times. He started with us in NFC, and I still remember his first amateur fight for us. He fought a hell of a lot of wild bills for us. But something like this, if we had done this podcast 10 years ago when he started with us, he would have been an experienced vet dealing with the cameras and podcasts and stuff before he ever made it to the UFC. But yeah, it's definitely a cool experience for these people to do it. And then for you to chop it up later and put on YouTube that they can share it for their friends that don't watch it live. It's just a cool experience. And it's kind of exactly what we launched this podcast for, to give them a lot of exposure and help them get through this for the first time.
And I feel like it gives not only just you and I an opportunity, but just our audience, the NFC community, an opportunity to like get to know these fighters a little bit more before we actually see them compete coming up, here soon, man. So again, definitely shout out to Kelley. I think I'm always so fascinated about why people fight and like what else do they do, because sometimes, again, they're amateurs that are competing and amateurs don't get paid. It's like, how else do you sustain a lifestyle while also come fight every week? And so seeing that Kelley's in between her job right now as an event coordinator at a hotel, that's just dope to me, man. So again, ladies
and then you also have Chloe that wakes up at 4 a.m. to go to work personal training. I mean, she works out at 5 a.m. so she can personal train later in the day. And me and her have joked about some of the fighters that are losers out there that really have no job, that sit at the gym all day, and she's never been like that. She's a workaholic.
That's fascinating, man. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is NFC Now. I'm Julian Virgin. That's David Oblas. And what we have here is the Night Train, Jared Gooden, joining us. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Hey, I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Hey, man, has anybody ever told you that you have a great smile, bro?
I appreciate you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
What's that in the back, bro? What's that picture of?
So that's a monkey. He has move my head the right way. Shit. There we go. It's a monkey that has headset on, and you got a little iPod on his shoulder. He's listening to music. And I got my keyboard behind me.
What song do you think he's listening to?
Shoot. Like I said, I don't know, but like that's what's cool about this pain. I'm trying to get out the way of it. Shoot. But like you see, like whatever this it's like with my fucking head. There you go. What's cool about it is like whatever song he's listening to is making him think. You know what I mean? That's what I love about this picture. That's why I got this painting. Like it's so beautiful to me. Like that's what music does to me. Music's very important to me. So like again, this music's making him think. I love music that makes me think, that gets me out of my head. It's awesome. That's why I love the painting.
Were you classically trained in piano?
Sadly, no. Like when I was younger, my mom put me in the piano when I was a kid. I didn't care for it back then, but I just picked it up again earlier this year, and I've just been playing ever since. Like you see my keyboard behind me, I was playing it before I got on. I'm gonna play it again after I'm done.
When you started fighting for us, you worked at an oil change place, I think in Duluth, when you used to fight for me at Wild Bills. Not to get too much into your business, but you still have a full-time or part-time job out there?
No. Well, I do security on the weekends from time to time, but now I'm able to sustain myself on fighting, and I got clients I train Monday through Friday at my gym at Most City Barbell. Shout out to Most City Barbell. But yeah, luckily I'm able to sustain myself from fights and from training people. And like I said, I get to do security on the side for extra money.
So you've been to the top show. You've been to the UFC, and you've gone where a lot of fighters dream to go one day. Now that you're back fighting for the crappy old NFC, tell us a little bit about the UFC for the guys that haven't been there, like what the experience is like on fight day, weigh-in day, just how great it is.
It's actually pretty dope. The only thing that I didn't like was the weigh-ins at UFC, because like NFC, where you go, like once it's time to weigh in, you can weigh in, then rehydrate. UFC, you gotta sit there, wait, those paperwork, and it's just like you gotta wait for the right time. It's crap. Like we have to show up like an hour or two before we can actually step on the scale. So like rehydrate and stuff, it just sucks. But NFC, you get right on the scale once you get there, man, and it's easy from there.
Besides weigh-ins, I'd have to say the UFC is a lot better than the NFC.
Like I said, it's just the weigh-ins I didn't like, but everything, like the way they run their show is amazing. The way they the hotels they put us in, everywhere we were at was amazing. Yeah, like UFC is a amazing show, man. I appreciate them having me. Look forward to get back in there.
What was the biggest crowd you fought before?
It wasn't I didn't have a crowd with UFC. I was fighting during COVID, so there's no crowd.
Oh, all your fights were no crowd?
Yeah, all COVID.
Oh damn! How much?
Like,
did
I'm sorry,
that suck?
there's like a few people when I fought Randy Brown, but I guess less than 25.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing I saw, man, is just that, like, just your sheer activity. If you go on your Tapology page, man, you have to scroll a couple of times in order to get to the bottom, man. You're only 28. Like, explain, like, why do you fight so much? You fought a lot of times. You're 20-8 as a professional, but you have a slew of amateur fights, man. In 28 years, man, how do you find yourself in this many fights?
I love to fight. I love to get paid. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me how like some people will fight and then like take 6 months to a year off before they fight again. That's crazy to me. Like, I'm young. You know what I mean? Like, I believe I'm retire. I want to retire by 35. You know what I mean? Like, wake up and don't have to do anything. So while I'm young, I'm gonna go after it and get it. You know what I mean? Like that's how my mindset is. I'm young. The body's young. Go after it and get it. So by the time I'm 35, think about settling down and just slowing down my life. You know what I mean? Like, like I do want to like have a regular job. Like some kind of financial job, but something I can like just suit up for, but nothing crazy. You know what I mean? I want to retire and just be set after 35.
How old are you
Last
now?
time I spoke to you, man, we were off of, I think it was like Beaver Ruin. We had a gym. We were doing another fight promo for your teammate. But you said something that just really stuck to me, man. You said, I would tell any other young fighters to just fight all over in all different promotions all over the country. And then when I'm on your Tapology, I've seen you fought in so many different promotions all over the country. Could you explain, like, why did you tell me that? And why do you think it's important for fighters to just continue just to go anywhere to fight anybody?
I got you real quick. Autobot, I'm 28, just in case you didn't hear. But what you call it? Yeah, it's better to fight everywhere, as many places you can to get your name out there. You know what I mean? That's why, like, whenever a fighter asks me, what can I do? What should I do to get my name out there? Fight somewhere else. Go to Florida. Go to Alabama. If you can, cross the country, man. Like, when I fought for LFA, it was in Phoenix, Arizona. You know what I mean? Got my name out there in Phoenix, Arizona, out there on the West Coast. And again, it was beautiful out there. So, like, that's why I always tell fighters whenever I can, fight it. Like, you don't have to fight as much as you can, but just go out there and go somewhere. Go somewhere. Don't just stay in one spot and nothing will happen for you. Just stay. Only the people there will know you.
You getting your name out there got you an opportunity to go to the UFC, man. Could you, I know David asked you about, you know, what did you think about the UFC versus the NFC, but could you just talk to us about the contract that you signed and how things ended with the UFC?
The contract I signed was a 4-fight deal. Yeah, I signed a 4-fight deal. I was actually stepping in late notice to fight Dwight Grant, if I'm not mistaken, but sadly I had to pull out because I got injured. And then I ended up fighting Alan Gilbane. But my stint with UFC, I got my 4 fights. I went 1-3, and when it was time to negotiate a new deal, I didn't do it like I should have. But so I didn't get my new contract when I should have. But like I said, so that's kind of what happened with UFC. I did my 4 fights. So like I'm not mad about it. Like I said, I lived up my contract. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fighters who sign like a 3-fight or whatever fight. Some people only get 1-fight deal, but I got a 4-fight deal, and I got all 4 of my fights in the UFC, and I got a gnarly knockout. So I'm pretty excited about it. Pretty happy about it. I'm happy about going wherever I'm going next. Like see UFC, Bellator, PFL, wherever.
I saw that you have picked up fights since that UFC contract, but I'm sure I could only assume there's a part of you that's like, dang, I was still in there. How did you deal with like not re-signing? Like the emotions that go into not re-signing that contract?
I'll admit it sucked. I did have to go through a little depression. You know what I mean? Since I was 15 years old, I had the dream to make it to UFC, and I finally did it, and I let it slip away. You know what I mean? So yeah, I went through a little depression, but that's why I'm glad to have the friends and family in my life. You know what I mean? Like they all got me out of it. You know what I mean? Like they helped me get back on my feet, got me back in the gym, and just got me back to training. You know what I mean? Like because I'll never forget. There's a good friend of mine named Sean Coleman. I think I lost a jiu-jitsu tournament one day, and like I was depressed about it. Went to the gym still, but I was kind of depressed. And he sent me a song. It's a song by Pantera. You know the band that makes the song Walk or whatever. But they have a song called Yesterday Don't Mean Shit, and that's kind of what got me out of that funk. I mean, yesterday don't mean shit. Like yesterday happened. Yeah, it happened, but learn from it and move forward.
I appreciate your sheer honesty again, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Gooden joining us here on NFC Now. That's David Oblas. I'm Julian Virgin. Jared, now it's been billed as the battle of the decade, the fight of the decade, man, against Doug Usher coming up here on October 15th, man. You called for this fight, man. Could you just explain why you called for this fight?
Why I called for it? So check me out. After my last fight, I lost. I got knocked out. I can admit it. But what's funny is Doug Usher was dumb enough to talk trash about me to my teammate Warren Thompson. You know what I mean? And of course, if you like, everybody talks trash. It's whatever. But to talk to my main teammate, you know what I mean? Of course, he'll get back to me. And he's saying how he saw my loss coming, how he pieced me up in the gym. And I was like, wow, you got a lot to say, bro. Show me. Let's do it out there in the biggest stage in front of everybody. You know what I mean? So like, if you got so much shit to say, prove it to me. You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm like, we could have trained and sparred. Nah, I don't want that. I want to hurt this man. You know what I mean? I want to get paid for it. So that's why I called for it.
But you've called for it for a number of years, though. This isn't the first time you've called for it. You've called for it a couple of times, so you've wanted to fight him in the past.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody's acting like this is fucking news. They're like, oh my God, how dare you call out Usher? I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for a while. He's been ducking me for years. But I'm just glad it's finally happening. Like I said, I'm just glad it's finally happening. You know what I mean? It had to take from the talk trash for it to happen, but whatever. I'm excited to go out there and show what I know and just do what I do.
Why do you think he's ducking you?
It's in the comments. Check it out. He's been ducking me. He doesn't want this. He doesn't want this fight. He doesn't want to fight me. He knows I'm a problem for him. You know what I mean? And like I said, I could say whatever I want. I'm not gonna do that. I can't wait to go out there and show y'all October 15th in Atlanta what I'm gonna do to Doug Usher.
Interesting, because this kind of did come out of nowhere. I was reading the comments. It seemed as if that he was kind of caught off guard by you calling him out and this happening. But it also seems as if now that we're hearing you talk, that no, like you feel a type of way about him saying something.
Oh yeah, like it's yeah. Like I said, I've been asking for this fight for years. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just glad we're finally gonna get this fight. You know what I mean? It's time. You know what I mean? And like I said, the biggest fight of the decade, biggest fight for Georgia. Let's go out there and show them what we do.
So that comment I just posted actually is from him on Facebook right now saying, yeah, you've been talking shit behind my back for the last 3 years, my dude. You've been had beef and never said anything to my face.
That's not true. I've definitely like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? I've never liked Doug Usher. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny how he, like, in the comments when I posted, I think he's like, oh, we're friends, we're teammates. It's like, bro, I don't talk to you. Yeah, we sparred every once in a while. It's like, dude, how long I've been in Georgia? I've been in Georgia sparring and fighting for 11 years, right? Me and him been in the same room probably 20 times. Me and him probably trained together less than 10. You know what I mean? And he's gonna come out here and say, oh, we're friends with teammates. It's like, no, we're not, bro. Why would you lie? Why would you say that? You know what I mean? And like I said, he's right. I never said anything to his face because again, I don't talk to homeboy. Again, he's not my friend. He's not somebody I would conversate with. You know what I mean? That's why it was just so crazy to read that comment. He's like, oh, we're friends. I'm like, bitch, no, we're not.
Do you think I billed this correctly as the fight of the decade? I mean, can you think of fights in the NFC that have been bigger than this one as of late?
No, there's no fight bigger than this. You know what I mean? Me and Doug has made it the furthest in from Georgia in the other bigger promotions. You know what I mean? This is the fight to make. I'm excited it's finally happening. I just can't wait to go out there and just show everybody what I can do.
Because in my opinion, you two are kind of the OGs of Atlanta. You guys are both pros, both in the 185 weight class. He's made it the Khabib show. You've made it the UFC. Looking at the records, like Julian said, you're 20-8. He is 13-4. So when it comes to pro fighters, there's not many pro fighters that have anywhere near that resume out there.
100%.
So
you've seen Doug fight before. What does he do well, and what do you think that you can exploit?
He does everything well. He's a very good, well-rounded fighter. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he has good knockouts. He's good on the ground. He's good judo. Man, he's good. What can I exploit? Everything. Like I said, he's good, but I'm great. You know what I mean? He has holes that I see, and I'm gonna take advantage. And like I said, that's what's funny. He says, take trash to my teammates saying he sees holes in mine. Hey, I can't wait to go out there, show me these holes, bro. Let's see them. You know what I mean? That's what I love about the fight game. You know what I mean? Like, you don't like somebody, you don't like your coworker, you can fight them.
I'm excited just even hearing you talk about it. I see the sweat percolating on your nose right now, brother. You ain't playing with him. I like that energy. Definitely look forward to having Doug Usher on.
I had one more question. We're interviewing you tomorrow at Knuckle Up Fitness.
Yes,
Generally with Flatline Cinema. I've got to give her a plug. Generally with Flatline Cinema. I'm getting better at that. I told her to ask you tomorrow for the video, but where did Choo Choo Motherfucker come from?
It's kind of ironic how it happened. I was already nicknamed Night Train, and it was just I believe it was my mom. She was just saying, "Oh, you should say choo choo as your little catchphrase," and I was like, "That's kind of weak, mom. Like choo choo." But what's funny is like as I said choo choo, we're watching a movie in the background. Samuel L. Jackson just says his famous line, "Motherfucker," and I was like, "Oh, there it is, choo choo, motherfucker." You know what I mean? So that's where the line came from.
How do you see you versus Doug Usher going? What is your prediction on the fight?
I'm going to finish Doug Usher. I don't have a round. I don't know how. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go out there and be like, I'm going to do this, do that. I'm going to finish Doug. I'm going to finish Doug Usher and I'm going to walk out with that championship.
And if you do finish him, if you do beat him, what does that mean? Does that mean you're the king of Atlanta? Like, what does that mean, not only to you personally, but on your resume?
No, it definitely means I'm the king of Atlanta. Like, it's funny because, you know, we still do call Warren Thompson the emperor of Atlanta. You know what I mean? And after I take out Doug Usher, I'm the new emperor.
He said it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Jared Night Train, choo choo, motherfucker, Gooden. Here and only here on NFC Now, bro. Keep smiling. We appreciate your time. You coming on the pod, bro. We look forward to seeing you October 15th, NFC Fight Night 150 against Doug Usher.
Thank you, guys. Like I said, it's a pleasure to be fighting back here for you, Oblast. Pleasure to be fighting for NFC. It's a pleasure to be on this podcast with you guys, man. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to see you October 15th.
Thank you, brother.
Be safe, guys.
David Oblast.
That was fun. We finally got someone to talk.
Did you just have a promoter's wet dream over there with all the shit he was talking about this fight?
I kind of knew Jared would bring it. That's kind of the goal of the podcast. I knew Jared Gooden would bring it. That's why he's Night Train. That's why he's choo choo motherfucker. Like he said, he's still 28. He likes talking shit, and I kind of knew that might happen with him. Doug is more low key. I saw Doug popping up on the Facebook comments. He couldn't come on tonight because of training. I don't know how you say you can't come on the podcast, be on Facebook the whole time. But hopefully Doug will agree to come on next Monday.
Look forward to having him, and just in response to some of the things that he said. Again, I don't think anything that Jared just said was an attack on anybody's character. I think that was just him speaking on his perspective of the fight and how that fight was made. So I'm excited, but I know he just gave us a lot of things and gave the community a lot of things to be excited for come October 15th.
Yeah. You ready for old CJ Hamilton?
I am ready for OG CJ Hamilton. This is a father. He's a fighter. Georgia's very own CJ Hamilton. CJ, thank you for joining us this evening, bro. How you living?
I'm good, man. Just a little jet lag, but I'm good.
You back at home?
Yeah. We got back late last night, so I'm actually in the gym right now. So.
Thank you for joining us, man. You're coming off of a big victory against Richard Palencia. I know that was maybe not the way that you wanted to win the fight, but I mean you did check that kick, man. Could you just walk us through what happened?
I mean, the first round I clearly won 10-9. I mean, it was just a matter of time. I was en route to beat him anyways. But I remember him coming out southpaw, and I opened up my stance. I went back orthodox. And when he threw the kick, I was going to blitz. And as he threw it, I saw it, recognized it, checked it. And when he put his foot down, his ankle buckled. Now, mind you, the picture online is me pointing. I was pointing at his ankle because I thought his ankle broke. I heard a snap, and I watched it buckle. Come to find out, I look at the replay and his leg is in half. So it was gross, man. It was very unfortunate, but charge that to the game. I mean, it could have happened to me too. Had I not, checked it, I could have broke my shin. But yeah, it sucks. Wishing him a speedy recovery, but like I said, charge that to the game.
I'm sure you wish him a speedy recovery, man. But at the end of the day, that's a fair victory in for you, CJ.
Yeah,
because you checked the kick.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's like I train so much. I'm always in the gym, and like for me, it's like my last fight in Hawaii got dropped, so I just kept training from that camp on into this one, and for it to happen like that, I mean, I wanted to either knock him out or choke him out. I didn't want him to break nothing or anything like that. But like you said, I mean, it is what it is. I did what I was told. I mean, that's just ingrained in me. I check kicks a lot, and it just happened to be a bad kick to throw at the time, and shit happens.
How much does that hurt you when it lands like that?
So like it busted my shin. My shin was bleeding. It's still a little bit forward to the touch. I'm not gonna sit there and say I can't walk, but you can kind of tell it bothers me. And it was pretty swollen when it happened, but today I've been wearing like a compression and just trying to ice it and stuff like that. But like when I sat down, that's when I first initially started feeling it. When it happened, I didn't feel it.
You said you got dropped in your last fight in Hawaii. You lost your fight before that. How important was it for you to come out and get a dub this time around, no matter how it was?
I mean, really, I was just, this is what I tell myself a lot. Focus on the process, and everything will take care of itself. The days will take care of themselves. And, I just knew that I built my house in Bellator from the roof down. My first fight, Magomed, he's in the Grand Prix semifinals right now. Mateus Matos, these are all top 10 dudes, my first 2 dudes. And I fought them both on 2 and 3 weeks' notice. So, fighters fight. It is what it is. I lost. I knew what, the risk was going in. But, I mean, I'm going to always bet on myself either way. But coming into this, for me, it was a little bit more of a even playing field, mind you, because, Magomed's fought Peter Yan, beat Peter Yan. You know what I'm saying? Richie didn't have that kind of resume for me looking at it. So I was like, all right, this is the fight where I really showcase my skills. And, it got to win.
So bear with me. I'm going to try to this is the first time we've done an NFC podcast history. I'm going to try to share the photo of the photo of you hitting the guy in his leg. So let me know when you're able to see it, Julian.
Yeah. Oh my God. Come on.
Can you see it up there now? Hold on. Let me so you can see. So you can see the broken leg and you pointing at him. Did you see that on his ankle when you were pointing?
No, I did not see that. I just saw it buckle and he was going down, and I heard it snap, and I was like, hey, man, I'm not going to jump on this dude. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, he was hurting. Like, that was a perfectly taken picture, but I don't know why the hell I pointed. Chuck still gives me hell to this day. Bro, it was just a genuine initial reaction. I was like, look at that. So, yeah.
The only other fighter to point like that is in the UFC, and he just got out of his UFC contract.
True, yeah.
You two are the only guys I've ever seen point like that in a fighter.
You didn't hit him with the super necessary. Shout out to you, man, for having a little self-control.
Yes.
And for people that don't know, it's kind of a loaded question. Tell us who the guys are in the photo, especially the Jesus-looking guy.
All right, so we're going to start. We got my coach, Chuck Cawthon. He has the longer hair. Head coach, Chuck Cawthon. Right next to me is my jiu-jitsu coach, Jimmy Fowler from Revolution Martial Arts. And then on the far right, far left, excuse me, however you're looking at it, that's Jay Gray, one of my best friends, my brother. He made the trip. He's former NFC champ, 185 and 205. I want to say he's one of the first champs.
Yeah, he was one of the first champs. And for people that don't know, every Christmas Day, I'm Jewish. Every Christmas Day, I text your trainer, Chuck, and wish him a happy birthday.
That's like
funny. Jesus. So I think I've done that for 10 years running now.
It's horrible.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, CJ Hamilton joining us here on NFC Now. That's David Oblas. I'm Julian Virgin. CJ, how did the name Autobot come about?
I was training with Mike Easton for one of his fights. He was about to fight TJ Dillashaw, I think. And I was an amateur, actually. and I was up there in Maryland, and they were like, "Hey, you got a nickname?" And I was like, "No, I just, I never really thought of it like that. CJ's my nickname or whatever." And we just started talking, and his nickname is the Hulk. Well, when he was in the UFC, and we're sitting there talking, bro. He said Barracuda. It was just all, but I was like, bro, y'all not about to disrespect me like that. You're not about to disrespect me like that. And then I think Transformers ended up coming up, and he was like the Decepticon. I was like, I don't know about that. They don't. And then he said CJ the Autobot Hamilton. I was like, all right. And really, it just plays into how I can fight any style. I can emulate any style very easily and adapt too. So we just went with that, and it stuck.
I love the nickname, man, and just going through your resume, you fought a lot of people over a long span of time, man.
Yeah,
I saw, you held belts in the NFC. You also fought the likes of Casey Kenny on the Contender Series, man.
Mm-hmm.
You dropped a couple names earlier when you talked about your former opponents and who they fought. Now, when you see somebody like Casey Kenny lace up against a guy like Dominic Cruz, man, when you watch him fight, what does that mean to you when you're sitting there watching him? Like, do you feel like you're a part of that journey, or?
I mean, I just look at it like this. I love my resume because I can lay my head down at night and know that I've never taken the easy road to get to where I am. And I watch guys like Casey Kenny, and I'm just like, man, we were in there. I went 3 rounds with him. Jordan Espinosa, he was in the UFC. I beat him. Who else? Jad Brooks fought him too. Like, I fought like the who's who around the country, and it makes me feel good because when you got guys that you look at their resume and they're about to fight you, and you're like, the competition, the level of competition is different. So it gives me a lot of confidence.
Now you've also fought in the NFC. This is the NFC Now pod, man. What does a local promotion like the National Fighting Championship mean to you and the people that you train with as like a means to getting to that next level?
Man, it means everything. I mean, you don't forget where you came from. That's where I started. You know what I mean? Like I've said it in a promo for one of my last NFC fight, actually. You don't forget where you came from. Oblas has put on, I want to say, at least 70%, 60% of my professional career started with him. So it means the world to me. I love, going back and seeing all the amateurs come up because I once was that amateur. I was that, 2-0 pro or, making my professional debut. So it hits home when I get to go and, witness some of these cards and, coming back to the gym and telling the young and up and comers that we have here, like, hey, yeah, this is where you want to go. This is the route you want to go. So
I will say you're one of Jesse Wabel's favorite fighters for numerous reasons. I think just because you guys are from the same area, but he likes the way you've never said no to a fight, or at least he tells me you've never said no.
Absolutely not. You ain't never. Hey, we got screenshots. You know how I get down.
But I will say we have used you as kind of like the model of what an NFC fighter should be. And we like you guys taking other fights. We always think you should take other fights outside of here. But you kind of came as an amateur up. I think through my days at Wild Bills, you came as an amateur to advanced amateur to pro debut. When I did a couple LFA shows, you were on the LFA shows I co-promoted. So you got a piece of that action live on a HD Net or Access TV or whatever you want then. You fought elsewhere throughout the country, and now you've had your last couple of fights in Bellator. So when me or Jesse kind of talk about where fighters should go, we've used you as an example before. Hopefully that says a lot to you as well.
No, it does. It does. I mean, it makes me feel good. It makes me realize that, we're doing something right at Contemporary Martial Arts. You know what I mean? We're not, rushing things. And, and then the NFC builds, quality fighters. You just had Jared Gooden on here. You know what I mean? He was in the UFC. He's an NFC guy. You know what I mean? There's other names that I can name that started with you. So
shout out David Oblas.
That's Anthony Angel.
He's the emperor of Atlanta.
He's the emperor of Atlanta. Now, CJ, man, I saw you just bought a new life into the world. You got Charles.
Yeah, that's my nephew. That ain't my.
That's your nephew? I thought it was your son.
No, you would think though. You'd think, yeah, that's my nephew. But yeah, we'll take that too. We'll take that too. Matter of fact, I just left him not too long ago, man. It's awesome. You know, I got my sister-in-law. You know, my mom lives in South Carolina. She lives in Spartanburg, so I don't get to see, you know, my sister's kids a lot. My nieces and nephews there. It's just, you know, a little far. So my sister-in-law just had her son, Kyrie. He's 2 months old, I want to say. And they're right down the road. So I'm like, anytime she's like, oh, well, can you? Yeah, I can watch him. I got him. So, yeah, I was wondering why he was like, he just brought something into the world. I was like,
I saw it. I mean, the way you was holding the baby, I was like, yo.
That's my boy, man. But no, I was like, Julian knows something that I don't. I was about to call my wife.
Yo, that's funny, man. Hey, well, congratulations nonetheless on the new edition.
Appreciate it.
You know, we talked about, you know, how you got, you know, you never forget your roots, where you started from. I wanted to know Hartwell, Georgia.
Yeah, that's home, man. The reason why that's home to me, man, is because I was born and raised in New York, and I moved a lot as a kid, and I always made sure that my goal was whenever I got old enough and able to set my roots somewhere, I'm gonna do it and stay here. And Hartwell's the place, because I was wrestling for Anderson University, and my teammate was coming here and training, and long story short, he got me here, and I never left. I did my first class with Chuck, and I've been here for 10 years. So I love Hartwell, man. I love it.
Hey, have you ever seen Lewis Brewington fight?
No.
You haven't? Okay. He's our next guest, so
okay.
We'll let him know you've never seen him fight.
Come on, man. Has he ever seen me fight? You need to ask him that.
Well, if he has TV, he has, player.
Nah, come on. Nah, man.
That's funny, man. Hey, CJ, we look forward to watching you compete. We appreciate you just even giving us your time to talk about your previous fight in a different promotion, and we appreciate you for just I always see you in the corner of other fighters that work at your gym competing here in the NFC. It's so important for young fighters and even personnel like myself to see people like yourself that have gone to different elevations and different levels to still come back, give your time, your energy, your effort to NFC and not forget where you came from, bro. So CJ, on behalf of everybody here, man, we appreciate you, bro. Continue to do what you do. Continue to put on, not only for the NFC, man, but for Hartwell and for your nephew. You feel me?
Yeah, man. And thank y'all. Thank you, David, for giving me a platform to showcase my skills, man. And, you know,
it's my job. It's my job. And I don't know if you can see the comments at the bottom, but Anthony Angel just posted that. He said, CJ showed me that you don't decline and pick and choose fights that are ideal for you. Too many fighters be doing that.
Yeah, we ain't even, I don't even want, I know where Anthony's going with that. I smell that. It's so, thank you, Anthony. But no, thank you seriously. Thank you seriously, Oblast. And thank my coaches, and Chuck Carlton, Jimmy Fowler, my boxing coach, Keith Kepner, my manager, Owen Reps, Ryan Haley, my strength and conditioning coach, Christian Harden, Joel Maddock, Anthony Canzano, Sean Coates, all my training partners, Jay Gray, just thanking everybody. But no, seriously, thank you, David, because, you know, without you doing your job, I wouldn't be able to do my job.
I appreciate it, but that's what I do for a living.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's CJ Hamilton right there. We appreciate your time, brother.
Appreciate it.
Sir.
David, before we kick it to Lewis, I just want to know how that makes you feel, man. You know, everybody there giving up big love to the NFC, man, and just hearing somebody like CJ talk about how he can't do his job unless you're doing yours, man. How does that make you feel?
I mean, obviously, it makes me feel good. Everyone likes to hear thanks and that they're doing a good job. And shit, I've been doing this for 21 years since I was a little baby. And now my hair is all full of it's all full of gray on the side and stuff like that. I got more hair on my back than I have on my head. But it just means I've been doing a good job and I treat people right. And my team through the years, they treat people right and do everything we can to help everyone. And like I've said, our goal is to see you get on the big leagues. I'm actually using, I don't think you can see it, a PFL pen right now. So we support the big leagues all the time. We want you to go big.
Shout out to you, Dave, for like not wanting to just hold people hostage to just your promotion, man. That speaks a lot to like your character and how and how you run your business and how you treat these fighters. Again, shout out to our last guest, CJ Hamilton, and to everybody that's out there viewing, shout out to you. Welcome to NFC Now. I'm Julian Virgin. That's David Oblas, CEO of the NFC. And coming up next onto the show, one of NFC's brightest stars. I have to say one of their brightest stars. Somebody I always enjoy talking to. The one, the only, the real deal. Lewis Brewington. What's up, brother?
What's up, Julian? David, what's up, my brother? How y'all doing?
Man, we maintain a happy Monday, bro. How you living?
I'm living good, bro. Man, I just came from seeing some horses, feeding some animals, man. I'm chilling now. I'm vibing.
Heard, man. Has David found you a fight?
He found me a fight. We got us one. And he fought a couple of good people too now. Julian, let me give you his name real quick, Julian, before we go to further notice, right? So his name is Michael Johnson, right?
Okay.
He fought. Who did he fight? What's the dude name at 205? He fought, what's his name, man? He fought two people that's in the UFC right now. They, matter of fact, they superstars. Right now, they superstars. They got a name to themselves. So
look it up while you try to think of it.
Julian, we got us a tough opponent, Julian. We got somebody that's tough. Okay. We got somebody that's gonna bring a fight to me. We got somebody that's gonna wrestle. We got somebody that's gonna strike.
Can we get more than a minute worth of cage time? Can we get more than a minute worth of cage time, bro?
It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, man. I can't wait to put on a show for the NFC and put on a show for David. So let me give you the two names that he fought, man. Like, this guy is good. I like him. I like his energy. He got my type of energy. So the two guys he fought, Jamal Hill.
Oh, that's the homie.
That's the homie. He's in the UFC right now.
And Cody Brundage.
And Cody. He fought my homeboy. He fought not my homeboy, but my brother. He fought my brother Trey Sean. We're not even gonna speak on what happened, but he fought my brother. But he's good though. I like him. I like Cody and I like Jamal Hill. They both good. He was defeated by both of them. But I ain't gonna look at it like, oh yeah, he's a run through. He's a bum. I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna run through him first round. No, he's a tough opponent. I can't wait to even get to action with him.
So we just broke some news here on NFC Now. Lewis Brewington will be fighting Michael Johnson October 15th.
Yes, sir.
Saturday, October 15th at NFC 150. Don't meet us there. Beat us there. Tickets at nfcfighting.com. Lewis, what does fight preparation look like for a fight against somebody who has fought people who are, knowledgeable names?
We stick to the same routine, man. Manu tells me that all the time. Listen, doesn't matter who you put in front of them. I train you to do one thing. Don't go in that cage playing. Go in there to kill. Straight up. We not going there to fight. We going there to kill. Take his head clean off his shoulder, no matter who the person is. We go in there. We prepare for the fight the same way. Every time we go from amateurs all the way to pro, we train the same way. Ain't nothing changed about it.
Headshots.
Headshot, baby. You know the signal. David said no headshots. No headshots.
I don't like the gun. I don't like the gun particularly.
David said, man, you're going to start a whole riot in the NFC, Lewis. So I can't be doing no headshots when I'm standing over my
It's funny because every time there's a problem at fights, and I don't like to use the word problem, but every time there's a problem at fights, I don't make a big deal out about it that night because everyone has their different views. Everyone's going different ways. And I always think you need to control the situation that night and never have long discussions. I mean, shit, most of us can't remember it because we're all caught up in the adrenaline and the heat. But whenever there's something, I usually try to meet with fighters the next week in private, talk to them about it. And Discount Dana here got to have a meeting with Lewis last time, but I told him that I've had about a dozen meetings with Bolo over the years to talk to Bolo in the past.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Bolo, man. That's my dog. That's the homie. That's big bro.
So
He just texted me the other night. Supposedly he's going to be out next week, and we
I
can go
hope
visit
so.
him.
I can't wait to see Bowler back in the gym.
I'm assuming that y'all had a dialogue following the fight against Wesley Sullivan, where chaos broke out. Is that what we're discussing, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Now, Lewis, you and I spoke directly after that fight, man. But now that we're a couple of months removed from that fight with Wesley Sullivan, how would you explain not only the fight, the before the fight and the weigh-ins, the actual fight, and then what transpired once Nate Mann pulled you off of him?
All right, so we're going to break it down. Let's go way back to the beginning. All right, everybody wants to know what happened. Everybody painting this picture of me like, Lewis, you started everything. But let me tell you the details. I mean the small details. The small details are the big details. So let me get into details with y'all, right? So I'm at the weigh-ins, and I check my weight. I get on the scale. Now it's time to hydrate back up. I go take the seat with my people. I'm eating my fruits. I'm drinking my coconut water. So I'm like, yo, this dude like 30 minutes late, almost an hour late. So we waiting on the opponent. I'm asking my homeboy, one of my teammates, Joe Ham. I'm like, bro, you don't see the dude yet? Like, I'm looking for my opponent. And I'm like, nah, I don't see him. So the dude walked in. I didn't pay no attention to it. I'm down eating my fruits. So Joe Ham tapped me. He was like, yo, that's your opponent. That's your opponent. Look up. I look up. I'm like, oh, what's up? I actually said, what's up? I greet him. I'm like, hey, what's up, Wesley? He like, what's up? He said, what's up to me? So I said, you ready to get on the scale? This man changed his whole energy about me. He like, nah, are you ready for tomorrow night? I said, bro, all the bad energy coming from, bro? I greeted you like a man. I said, what's up? Are you ready to step on the scale? Like, I'm ready to do this face-off so I could go home. Like, I'm ready to eat. So the dude looked at me like, nah, you better have that energy tomorrow night because I'm going to smash you. I'm like, oh, so you want me to turn gangster? Oh, so if you don't want me to be the nice guy no more, like you don't like the nice guy, so I got to get gangster with you. I say, listen, everybody knows me, right? I have a big personality. I'm goofy. I'm funny. I'm always somebody that you always want to bring around and be like, Lewis is going to be the light of the dark. You get what I'm saying? Like, Lewis is going to be the life of the party. So I come around this dude. I'm like, you know what? Everybody looking at me like, Lewis, don't do it, bro. He don't know you. Don't do it. I'm like, man, F that. Like, we going straight to being a gangster. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Step on the scale. We get on the scale, right? He checked his weight. He made the weight. We do the face off. Now, if y'all could see on the video that I posted on my Instagram, I just get on his face. This is my signature. I'm standing over everybody. This is my signature, right? I'm standing over the dude and I'm talking to him. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, man, bro, like, you straight disrespect me. I'm hollering at him, man to man. So I'm trying to check his energy because all this hyping, you doing all this talking, bro, we got to have to see me tomorrow night in the ring. So I'm like, man, listen, bro, stop all the talking. I'll see you tomorrow night. This dude lift up his head and just jacked it up and then headbutt me. I'm like, oh, so it was a late reaction, David. It was a late reaction. You seen it. David, you see it, David. It was a late reaction. I had to catch myself. I'm like, what would Julian tell me if I was in this situation? Julian would tell me, don't do it, Lewis. Like, be professional. So, you know, all that went out the window. And then we're like, you know what? I'm going to smash this dude. Like, you tripping, man. I just shoved him. Like, back your ass up. Don't ever headbutt me, bro. Like, I'm a man just like you a man. Respect me like one, bro. Like, you tripping. Like, we gonna fight tomorrow night. So why you putting your hands on me, bro? Like, put your hands on me tomorrow night so the fans can see, like, oh, these two guys are going at it. You feel me? Like, you don't gotta put your hands on me at the weigh-ins. I'm standing over you. Migo to migo. Let's be man to man. Holla at me man to man. I want to hear what you got to say.
Fight happens. There was a little back and forth between that time with the word boy and the way
we all know what boy means.
The way you interpreted it, completely understand where you coming from. You know what I'm saying? There is history behind that word. The fight happened. There was a lot. You know, we captured it. Jenna Lee Childress of Flatline Cinema captured it all on camera. What happened as he walked into the cage. There was a lot of talking back and forth. But personally, I think that's what makes you the entertainer that you are. That's the price of admission. When we watch a Lewis Brewington fight, we know we're going to get an entertainer. That fight lasted all of 30 seconds. You know, it was a quick exchange. You had him on the ground. It looks like he suffered a knee injury via what you did as you had him spread out. After the fight, you stood over him, and you as you told me, you put a couple in him. He reacted to it. Looking back, now that we're a couple months removed, would you have done the same thing? And what do you think about what transpired?
Man, looking back at it, man, I sat there and I watched the video over and over again, like, cause I was trying to figure out what get this dude so angry at me to get up and fight me after the fight. I'm like, the fight is over with. So I'm looking for David. I'm like, man, where's David at? He's gonna control this whole commotion that's going on right now. Because right now it's chaos.
I controlled you guys at the weigh-in. At the weigh-in, I was pulling you back.
Man, David, listen to me, David. I did not mean to start no rioting there at all. Like, at all.
I never said you did.
And man, listen, man, I was trying to make peace. But that's my signature. David, am I right or wrong? When I won the belt against Emmanuel Osho, I stood over Emmanuel Osho and I did the same signature. When
me and Lewis talked about the following week, he showed me photos and video, and that is his signature move. Discount Dana does not fully approve of it. I think I want to make sure you never get in trouble with the athletic commission, but yes, Luis did show me that is his signature move.
Thank you, David. So I don't know why everybody painting this picture like, oh, Lewis the gangster, Lewis the shit starter. Like, I didn't shit.
I got a cosign. My big sister was at that fight against Emmanuel Oso, and it seemed like you and her were like doing the back and forth to each other. And so she knows you for that. You know what I'm saying? So we understand that's the case. Chaos ensued. It was a moment in the NFC. Like it, love it. It was still a moment in which got everybody talking, which has everybody excited for your fight coming up October 15th versus Michael Johnson. Now, from what you've seen from him, is there anything that you're doing differently in training and preparation for this fight, or is this just another fight, another fighter, somebody that you plan on putting away?
It's just another fight to me, man. I look at everybody as a threat. So I don't ever look at nobody lost. I don't care if somebody's 1-6. That person could still be dangerous. I look at them. Some people be like, oh, he's a bum. I'm going to run through them. Listen, I don't see guys that was like 3-0, 4-0 get knocked out by a guy that was 1-5. You get what I'm saying? So I don't never look at nobody as a bum. I respect him as a fighter. But as a person, it's this. It's straight up. As a person, it's fuck you. But as a fighter, I respect you because you do what I do. You sacrifice a lot of things. You train hard. You probably leave family home and you got to leave your kids home. You got to go in the gym. You probably got a 9-to-5. You come home for working all day. Your feet hurt. Your body aching. You got a headache. You're tired. So I don't know what you're going through, man. Let me tell you something, David. A lot of these guys, and let me tell you why I respect a lot of fighters. A lot of these guys sacrifice a lot of things in life, bro. A lot of things just to pursue with this career. We're not in the UFC making $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, $1 million. We out here making money, but it ain't money we can support the family and be relaxed all day and have a full count. You get what I'm saying? Being in fight camp is expensive. So these guys that's coming from 9-to-5 and coming to the gym, I respect them. The guys who got wives, the guys who got kids at home and they trying to take care of them off this career, I respect that. But as a person, it's fuck you. I'm trying to knock your head off. But as a fighter, I'm always going to respect you and show you that love. But now if you come at me at the weigh-ins and you come and disrespecting me, then I'm piping up with you. But the thing people don't know about me is they see me as cocky, arrogant. Man, bro, you got to have a little ego in this sport, bro. You got to have a little ego in this sport. You gotta have some type of personality about you, bro. You just can't go in there, hey, good luck tomorrow night, and I hope you win. Why are you telling this person you hope he win and knock you out, bro? His plan is to take your head off. Why are you telling this guy good luck tomorrow night, bro? Like, this don't make no sense. Yes, I respect you as a fighter. We can shake hands. I see you tomorrow night. But other than that, bro, I'm here to let you know. That's why I stand over the people and be like, look, I'm coming to kill you, bro. I'm not here.
Let me ask you what you'd do if you were me in a situation. Let me explain a situation we just had recently and a couple we've had just for the NFC here. So, and my job, I think, is to protect both fighters. Once you guys sign a contract, it's to protect both you guys, make sure you guys get a fight. and do everything I can once you've committed to me and the NFC that we keep you on the card. So I've had a guy sign a contract, and I'm not going to use a name, but everyone can figure it out. So I've had 2 fighters sign a contract here, local guys, pro fighters, and one after signing the contract got a different offer. Let's call it a better offer for a little bit bigger league. And he asked us to be removed from the contract so he can fight for the other league. But that screws over fighter B that is working, has a wife, has a job, 9 to 5. If you were me, would you let that guy out of the contract because he got a better opportunity out there? Or would you make both fighters fulfill their contract?
Hell no, you gonna fulfill that contract, bro. What are you doing? Like, you signed that dotted line, bro. Right now, listen, David, let me tell you something, David. If the PFL say, Lewis, we got to fight for you right now, October 15th, I'm be like, listen, I have to fight for David first.
I agree.
If you got something in November, then I'm ready to pipe up in November. But right now, I signed it that dotted line for a reason. My opportunity will come in the UFC one day, Bellator, PFL. They're not going nowhere. But at first, I need to handle business. But guess what? I signed a contract. Once I signed on the dotted line, bro, because listen, it's not fair for fighter B.
Right. It's not fair for fighter B.
And I sacrifice, bro.
And I think the UFC or Bellator, whoever it is, I think they'd give you credit for that, saying, hey, this guy wants to fight here, but he's also going to fulfill that other contract. He's not going to back out.
And they will respect that. They will respect that. They will respect that. It's like, listen, man, I'm on a contract right now. Listen, if PFL write me right now, like I said, or UFC write me and say, look, we have a big show coming up. We want you on the show. I'm be like, look, bro, October 15th, I'm booked. I'm booked. Because at the same time, David, I'm thinking about 2 things. Number 1 is my opponent. Number 2 is David. You get what I'm saying, bro? I signed on a contract and a dotted line. I'm like, yo, like, why would I give up something for something so somebody gave me an opportunity? David, you gave me this big opportunity. Now, why would I just go ahead and shit on you?
And I think it's the same thing for me back to you. I could come back to you and say, hey, sorry, Louise, I got a bigger fighter at 185. I'm going to put in your spot. I got a better ticket sell. Hey, I don't have the money this show because ticket sales aren't going well. So I'm going to take you off the fight card because tickets aren't flying through the window. So, I mean, I think it's a mutual respect thing that the fighters, once you sign the dotted line, you fulfill the contract. And in 21 years, that's why CJ was thanking me earlier. In 21 years, I've never canceled an event. I've never pulled fighters from a card because we haven't sold enough tickets. So I think fighters know when they commit to me, we're gonna do everything we can to keep them on the card. So when fighters cancel for a bigger opportunity, I think they're kind of pussies, to be honest.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Louis Brewington joining us here on NFC Now. That's David Oblas. I'm Julian Virgin. Louis, you mentioned earlier that people have 9 to 5s. You respect fighters for, hustling and doing what they have to do. What do you do outside of fights in order to sustain a lifestyle?
So outside of fights, man, a lot of people don't know this about me, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the details. I own a group home with kids that's troubled teens. So I deal with a lot of troubled teens, man, that been through foster care, that get kicked out of systems, right? So they get kicked out of foster homes, and I'm their last opportunity. I'm like their last hope. So I deal with an age bracket of 13 to like 18, maybe 19, whenever the age out the system. But I was like, I give them a second chance in life. Because listen, a lot of people don't know this about me, man. A lot of people look at like, oh, he look at my Instagram like, oh my God, like he's rich, he's this and that. You don't know what I've been through, bro. So let me tell you why I deal with a lot of troubled teens, and why I'm helping them. So I got a group home for kids, right? A lot of teenagers that got mental health, that struggle with their parents. There was abuse, sexually abused, raped, molested. Kicked to the curb, that no parents tell them how was your day, how was school. They was abandoned at an early age. They seen their parents do drugs and a lot of things, bro. So I deal with that. I'm opening up my second group home. I'm gonna open up probably like in Dunwoody area or Sandy Springs area. But yeah, I deal with a lot of troubled teens, man, because I was a troubled teen when I was young. I started saying I wanted to do this when I was like, I say 15, because I was in foster care when I was a kid. I've been in foster care since I was 8 years old. A lot of people don't know this. Are you from me? Y'all the first person that even find this out. I've been in foster care since I was 8 years old, man. And I see my mom go through domestic violence. You feel me? So it's like I didn't have a mom. I ain't have a dad. So one day I say, you know what? I don't have kids right now, but I say, you know what? I'm going to adopt some kids, and I want to show them that it's some type of hope out here, man. Like, you don't have to think about suicidal. You don't have to talk about nobody loves you. Like, it's love out here, bro. That's why I am the way I am, Julian. Like, you see me around people, I'm always smiling. I'm always hugging somebody. I'm always talking positive on my Instagram. And I don't see my mom almost died in front of me by the hands of my father. So it's just like something touched me deep down and said, you know what, man? I'm not going to be nothing like my father. I'm not going to put my hands on females. I'm going to show people that it's love out here and it's peace out here. And that's why I always promote, and I'm always talking about God. I'm always talking about, see, a lot of people see this other side of me on Instagram like, yo, why you so aggressive when it's fight? Yo, you just don't know me, bro. Like, I come from that. I come from the streets. I come from drugs. My father was on coke. My father was on weed. Whatever you could name, he was on it. And I was exposed to this. My daddy was one of the biggest drug dealers in Miami. He was in and out of jail. I was in trouble in and out of school. But I changed my whole life around, man. A lot of people don't know this about me. And I say, you know what? One day I'm going to have an interview. I'm going to have a platform to express myself to tell people who I really am. I just lost a sister like 2 months ago to suicidal. She killed herself. I posted on my Instagram. A lot of people reached out and say, yo, like, what was wrong with your sister? She graduated college. She had a big house. Everybody showed her love. Yeah, but it wasn't that. She was struggling mentally, man. And it's some people that you just can't get through. And I reached out to my sister all the time, and I'd be like, man, look, sis, I'm here for you if you need me. And she was just scared to talk. And for people that's out there right now, bro, whoever's listening right now, bro, if you listen to me right now, bro, I know you scared people gonna judge you. I know you're gonna look at people and say, you know what, you crazy, you need help, you mental. Like, it's okay, let people talk about you, but don't be afraid to ask for help. I just recently lost my sister, man. My sister's like my twin in me. She's my twin sister, like my baby sister out of the family. Look exactly like me. She went to college, got her degree. She just graduated, got a big old house, just got married, got a nice dog, got a nice fiance, and everything was going well in her life, man. But mentally, she was struggling. She wasn't reaching out for help. And right now, a lot of people are scared. The suicidal rate is high right now because people are scared to reach out. People are scared to say, I need help. And there's nothing wrong for reaching out and asking somebody that's close by you, I need help, man, before I kill myself. Why would you wait till it's too late and say, you know what, I give up? Life is hard. Yeah, life is hard. We understand life is hard. A lot of people can't deal with it, but we're here to help you. And a lot of people right now, man, a lot of the reason why suicide is up right now, the suicidal rate is up right now, is because people are scared to say, I need help, man. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Like I said, Julian, I've been through foster home. I didn't see my parents in years. You feel me? I used to be a person that never forgave nobody. I was mean. I was angry. I was in and out of jail, selling drugs, like shootouts. I've been stabbed before. Like, I done been through it, man. I done been through it all, man. And you will never realize it until you ask me why I'm so loving, why I'm so happy, why I'm smiling every day, why I'm always doing traveling, why I'm always asking people how your day was, how come I'm always hugging people. You know why I ask that, bro? Because when I look at somebody deep down inside, I said, I don't know how your day went, but I'm here to make peace of it. I'm here to make peace. I'm here to bring joy in your life. Now, when I'm trying to get gangster, it's only when I'm fighting. But outside of that, bro, I think my calling in life, bro, the reason, Julian, I'm going to be honest with you, man, my calling in life, man, is to help other people. It's to help other people. I never knew I was going to become a fighter, Julian. I never knew this. Why'd
you start fighting, man? Why'd you start fighting?
I started fighting, Julian, man, because I'm going to be honest with you, Julian. Me watching my father beat my mother every day, I was a kid. I couldn't help my mom. I sat there, had to watch this. Like, my daddy's like 6'6", man. My daddy's tall as hell. He's big. He's like 210 pounds probably when I was 8 years old. Probably bigger than that now. But Julian, that right there, I could have had an excuse to make me a monster out of life, Julian. But you know, deep down inside, I say, you know what? I'm going to be better than that. I'm going to give my life to God. And whatever God got for me, he has for me. Whatever I go through, one day I'm going to overcome this. Because the pain is temporary. It's temporary, Julian. And a lot of people don't know how to forgive. For you to grow in life, Julian, you have to forgive that person that hurt you in life. And I was never growing. You know why I wasn't growing in life, Julian? I couldn't forgive my father what he did to my mother. Like, you took my mom, my only person that created me. Like, you took my mom away from me almost. Like, you nearly killed her. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be incarcerated. Like, I saved my mom's life, Julian. I tell you no lie, bro. If my mama was here right now in front of me, she'll tell you the story. Like, this lady used to get beat for no reason. For no reason. She was a great woman. A great woman. So, Julian, for people that's watching, man, and now y'all look at me like, oh, this dude is so cocky, he's arrogant. I'm only like that when it's time to fight. I'm only like that when it's time to fight. I'm only getting gangster when it's time to fight. I have a background of being a gangster. I used to gang bang. I'm not afraid to tell y'all where I come from. This is where I come from. In and out of jail, shootouts, selling drugs. But that did not make me. It did not make me. It did not make me. I'm going to stay like this forever. I say, you know what? I want to change as a man. I'm going to be an example for these young youth. People that's coming up right now, people that's kids and want to be gangster and they want to be bad and look tough. And listen, it's not about that, bro. You know what it's about? Getting rich, being a millionaire, and taking care of your family. That's gangster to me. Showing people love, being spiritual with other people. Telling people, look, this is my testimony. This is how I overcame a lot of obstacles in my life. I want to see you succeed. I'm successful now. And I'm so grateful for one person, two people right now, man. Manu and David. David, you gave me an opportunity to even get this platform, man. If it wasn't for you, PFL would never reached out to me, David. Julian, another person that's in my life that you made it big, Julian. You feel me? I always looked at you and I say, man, thank you so much for reaching out to me, Julian. You and your girl, bro. You feel me? When y'all came to me, you'll say, I see something bright in this man. You did. You did. You did see something bright in me. A lot of people don't look at me like that, David and Julian. A lot of people, but you know who sees that? Y'all three. Manu, Julian, and David. Y'all see something special in me, man. And I'm just like, you know what? One day, I'm going to share my light to a lot of people, and somebody's going to be impacted by my story. Like, everything I went through, man, is a testimony. And this is my journey. This is my journey to share with the world. So one day when I'm gone, I'm going to say, you know what? One day, I'm going to touch somebody that's young. You feel me? So somebody that's a kid that's watching me one day, and I'm big on the platform. I'm in the UFC, PFL, Bellator. Whoever's looking at me right now, somebody's going to reach out and they're going to say, you know what? This man inspired me to be better. This man told me to be somebody I didn't want to be in life. Now you somebody, bro. You feel me?
It starts right here on NFC Now. It starts right here on NFC Now. Lewis Brewington, man, we appreciate you being so vulnerable with us, man, and so honest with us about your story and your why behind why you fight, man.
This is the reason why I fight, man.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that could relate to exactly what you was just saying, man, and I'm sure you just got a lot of supporters just by you just being just real and honest, man. And you know, the man that we see in the cage is different than the man that we see kayaking on Instagram. You feel me?
Can you see the comments at the bottom on your side, Lewis?
Let's see.
So one guy just said, honestly, I had my own opinion about this man, and I know I'm just a fan, but after this story, I can't wait to shake his hand on the 15th. Huge heart in this man.
Oh, no, for sure, bro. Like, man, see people like this, man. Like, he could have been negative. He could have been judging me. And I hate judgmental people, bro, because you sin just like I sin, bro. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. So why judge one another? We all go through something in life, bro. So why look at another person instead of downing them and kicking them when they down? Why just reach out and say, do you need help? And lift that person up, bro. That's all I'm here for, man. I know God have a purpose for me, man. And my purpose is to inspire young people, bro. that guy that's going through a mental stage right now. They say, I'm struggling mentally. I don't know what to be in life. I don't know what to do in life. I don't know how to get money. I don't know what to do. Nobody loves me. Man, somebody out there loves you, bro. Somebody out there loves you. God loves you. God loves you. And if you seeking for help, bro, talk to God, bro. If you never see nobody say, but I talk to God every day, like he never answers me. Let me tell you, he hears you. Your prayer's been answered. Now, let me tell you what you got to do. You have to get up every morning. You got to go out there and get it. Your prayer's already set. The prayer's already done. Your prayer's already answered. The only thing you have to do is get up and do something about it. That's it. That's all you got to do. God is 50. You is 50. When y'all collide together, it's 100. You feel me? You got to meet God halfway, bro. You got to meet God halfway.
And I love the way you did that. It was like 50-50, and when you put it together, you was praying. Look at
No, for real though, Julian, man, for real, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all don't know how much David means to me, Manu means to me, and how much you mean to me. Because Julian, man, you could have never offered me your platform to be on your platform to speak, man. You could have looked at me as cocky, arrogant. I don't like this dude. But like I said, God gave you a vision to look at me and say, you know what? This kid right here is going to be something.
Hey,
no, you guys had a good post-fight interview at the last fight. I remember walking by you guys as I was taking out the cage with my guys, and I saw Julian interviewing Louis there, and I saw you had about 20 or 30 people all quiet as you were speaking, like the Reverend Louis Brewington was down there speaking, and not one person was going to say a damn word as you guys were talking. And that's when I hit you up about meeting the next week, and when we did lunch, I learned a lot about you. I mean, even though you've been fighting for me a couple of years, sometimes I don't see fighters till the weigh-in or fight night. I don't meet them. A lot of the guys, I don't have the time to spend with them until fight week. So it was fun for me doing lunch with you to talk about our issues and learning a lot more about you that day.
And man, this was fun for you to come on the NFC Now platform, man, to talk about your story. Again, Louis, man, we appreciate you for just being so open and honest. We look forward to watching you compete October 15th versus Michael Johnson. If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets on NFCfighting.com to see this man, Louis Brewington, compete in another professional bout against Michael Johnson October 15th. Louis, final thoughts, man. Last thing you want to leave us with, man.
Last thing I want to leave y'all with. Make sure you click on the link. Go to NFC.com. No, NFCfighting.com. Click on the link. You're going to see Louis Brewington. Click on my name and purchase your ticket. And I thank y'all for joining and watching me. David, thank you for having me. Julian, thank you for having me. And I love y'all, man. Much love.
Hey, one last question. You're on the fight card of the fight of the decade. Doug Usher versus Jared Gooden.
This is a hard one. Doug Usher versus Jerry Gooden. This is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Julian, this is the fight card of the year right now, right? With this guy on it with USC, ex-USC star, and the guy that just fought for Eagle. And these guys about to crash. I train with both of them. I spar with both of them. I wrestle with both of them. Now let me give you my honest opinion before I check out, right? So my God, honest opinion. Doug Usher, if he's not mentally there, right? If he's not mentally checked in with himself and say, I'm ready to kill this dude, I like Jared to kill him. But we talk about skill for skill. Skills-wise, Doug Usher is better. But it plays a lot with a mental theme and with a fighter. You got to be mentally checked in there, because if you're not, I don't care about your skills. You will get hurt. You will truly get hurt. A lot of people be thinking, because your skills is going to make sure you're going to finish the fight. It's not about that. It's two things about a fighter. Mentally, you got to be ready to kill. Another thing, your skill sets. You got to be in there setting things up. You can't fight emotional. If you fight emotional, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get knocked out, TKO, submitted, whatever. Do not fight emotional, Doug, because I know you're probably watching right now on Facebook Live. You feel me? Both of y'all my homeboys. I'm not going to pick sides. I know it's going to be a good fight. Jerry versus Doug Usher is going to be a good crash. I love both of them. Both of them my brothers. Like I said, who's going to win? We don't know. Y'all got to tune in. October 15th, baby. I'll see y'all then.
Louis Brewington, man, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us this evening, brother.
For sure, bro. Much love, David.
See you, Louis. Appreciate it.
All right.
David, I ain't seen you smile that hard in a minute, homie.
I think we're both fired from the podcast, and this is now the Lewis the Reverend Brewington podcast.
Check this out. I like this.
I didn't want to ask him what Jewish people do. He kept talking about you need to go talk to God.
He just cut a whole promo. I love that. Shout out to everybody that was tuned in to watch Lewis Brewington here on the NFC Now pod. Yo, that was amazing, and I think, in my opinion, that's why I'm involved with the podcast, to have an opportunity to actually tell those stories about why people fight. Again, like the why behind it, and I think Lewis's why is something that a lot of people can relate to and don't talk to, is, what they went through when they were a youth or a child and why they fight. So, man, that was a beautiful story by Lewis, and I appreciate his vulnerability. Your thoughts?
I mean, it was a good podcast. If you look at it from the beginning, we had Chloe on, who was going to wake up in about 3 hours to start her day at 4 a.m. If you don't follow Chloe's Instagram or Facebook, you need to. At about 4 a.m., you'll see her post-training story on there. Kelley, who's in the middle of working a night job right now at a hotel. Jared Gooden, who talked mad crap about fighting Doug Usher next weekend. CJ Hamilton, who just broke a dude's leg Saturday night in Bellator, Friday night. And then we ended with the Reverend on here. So, I mean, if we weren't doing this, no one would know any of those stories out there.
And that's
it's
why
not
we
even
do it.
Fight week.
That's why we do it. Again, every Monday, y'all make sure you tune in to NFC Now with David Oblas and Julian Virgin. We do this. We look forward to a really dope show. And next week's show is the show leading into the October 15th card. So we'll definitely be previewing what's to take place on October 15th. I expect Jesse Wade was going to be on that show, as well as Doug Usher, to answer all the questions that were raised of him from Jared Night Train Choo Choo Gooden on this week's pod. And just look forward to hearing from everybody else that has anything to do with the NFC. We look forward to having y'all just continue to comment and let us know exactly what you want to hear on this pod. Because, again, this is show number 3. Again, our first 2 shows were in Studio B. I think David is still in Studio B or Studio A. I guess I'm in Studio C right now. But we got the audio right. We got the visuals right. And then the stories are continuing to be told about the NFC, everybody that's involved, from the fighters, the events, and the people that are involved with the National Fighting Championship. David, your final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts to end the show. I'm going to try doing this ticket giveaway, to see how it goes. But I'm also, anyone that made a comment, I'm going to send them a free ticket, or anyone that made a comment, message me and I'll put you on the will call list to get in. So anyone that commented gets a free ticket. But Julian, tell me what this little giveaway tool shows. I'm going to, this is just for trial. Do you see it on your side?
Not yet.
Damn it, because I didn't share the screen. That must be why. Let me see if I can share it. It might
Shout
already
out
be
to
over
Ramondo Scott, who tuned in too, man. I had a great time talking with him earlier this year before his fight. Shout out to everybody that's on here that's still watching right now, and anybody who did drop comments.
Are you able to see my screen at all now?
Now we are. It's loading up. Let's see what we got here.
Can you see where it's like scrolling through the names?
I just
Flatline
see.
Cinema.
Oh, there we go. Uh-oh. The winner of the ticket is somebody that should already be at the fight. Generally chill, just a Flatline Cinema. Okay, no, it's still.
You can see the scrolling.
And that's Genelie's birthday. October 15th is Genelie's birthday. Oh, wow. Look at that. And
Hey,
the winner is the one and only, the man who birthed me, Ray Virgin. Shout out to you. We'll see you at the fights on the 15th.
So all those people are winners. I was just trying that out. So
that looks great.
They don't have to.
I guess we'll continue to just work on that and build on that, man. But today's show was an amazing show. Again, y'all make sure y'all tune in next Monday and every Monday for NFC Now Pod. That's David Oblas. That's my daughter, Sarai. And I'm Julian Virgin. We'll see you next time. Peace.